Hi everybody, I'm Steve Gorin with FPS, and I wanted to go over some of the program options, specifically administrative and planner. So let's get right into that. First, they're located inside this main menu section. It's the little down arrow up here with the book, and it says main menu. So you click that, and you'll go down the row and you'll see options. So click options. Let me bring this window over here, and you'll see a list of items. Auto login, the first one you'll see. If you don't want to go through the whole login screen, you can set this up to log in as this planner, and it's the planner name, not his first name or last name, but his planner name. I'll show you what that is in a minute. Make sure this is clicked, and then if passwords are required, be sure to enter the password, and that will auto log you in next time. Or another method of doing this is during the login screen, there's a remember me checkbox. I don't know if you remember that from the login video, but you basically select a planner, enter the password, then check to remember me, and that data is the same as this. Alright, personal settings. These are all of your personal settings. I logged in as Ed, and this is where you would change your password if you want it. You cannot change your planner name or security level. Only the admin person can do that. But this is where you'll keep all your address, your phone numbers, etc. All this is, the only reason this is in here is for you when you're doing your mail merge templates. You can use these fields in your templates. When you're all done, you click Save and Close. See, we can put JEC, and then this button is enabled once there is a change. Save and Close. There's another section here called your alternate value colors. These are the colors in the input screens if they're different than the actual. If the value's higher, you can change it, make it look like this. Or you can make it look like whatever it is you want it to look like. Same thing with lower values. I'm just going to cancel out of that because I don't want to change it. And it should look like this. Okay. The calendar has a lot of settings. I'm going to go over that in a separate video on how to work the calendar. Same thing with word processing. That'll be a different video on how to use the word processor. But these are the defaults. In other words, when you open the word processing unit, it will start out on this, my particular case, Times New Roman 12 point. It'll also set these default margins. It'll also set the page in portrait mode. Phone numbers. The phone numbers in the program, you can either have a phone mask so that it looks like this up here at the top with the brackets for the area code, and a dash and these underscore lines as placeholders. If you don't like that, if you want to enter freeform text, just deselect that, and then you can enter whatever you want. Outbound dialing sequence, if you want to add some numbers that always are dialed when you hit the dial button on a lot of these numbers, you would enter it here. However, the dialing does use Windows Dialer, and you can set all this, the same functionality, inside the Windows Dialer. Email. This is the separator that is used between multiple email. If you're emailing to more than one contact at a time, and depending on your email package, some of them use commas, some use colons, some use semicolons. But for Outlook, it uses this symbol. If your email software uses something different, you can enter that here. Common folders. When you save word processing documents, it will default to this folder. If you want to change that, you click the button and you select where you want that to go. Let's say like right here. Well, let's say test, because it's already going to reports. And now it's going to go here. When you open up or when you click save or open, it will go to this directory. PDF documents, same logic. Whenever you save a PDF document, it will default to this section. If you want it to go to your own different folder, you click here and set that. Now on to admin settings. It's designed for one or two administrators for a database. And each database has its own set of planners and its own set of administrative settings. So in other words, that doesn't propagate. If you create a new FPS database, you need to set those settings in that database also. The first part of this administrative settings is pretty simple. At the start of the program, are you going to make your users enter a password? Required or not? If you say not required, there will be no box for them. If you say required, it will force them to enter a password. The next one, do you want this screen to be protected so nobody can come in here and fiddle around with these settings? So to open this screen in the future, you would put this as required. And set admin password. I'm going to just set it at 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. Confirm new, 1, 2, 3, 4. Password changed successfully. Okay. So now we know it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 to open this screen again. And that is the administrative password. Now you can also require that password to open the database category screens. These are the categories that are used inside financial statement, budget, the default settings for a lot of the interest rates, etc. If you don't want every user changing those, you can set this to required. That means they have to know the administrative password to change those features. Disclaimer text is pretty this is on cover sheets, and you can change that to whatever you want. We have a full page disclaimer that you can print from a template that's included with FPS now also. But this is the disclaimer that is on the built-in cover sheet. All this company address is used on the templates. These are mail merge fields, so you can fill them as much as you need. And then when you clicked OK, since I changed something, you'll get this message: all users connected must restart FPS to reload the database in order to see these settings. All that is saying is that if you have a bunch of users using the current database that you just made changes to concerning administrative settings, they have to stop and restart FPS in order for those settings to come in, because it's already cached all that admin information and it's not going to reload that for them. They have to restart FPS. Same thing with this particular user. You'd have to restart FPS. This is the same area that you go to set up your planners. So you click Edit Planners, and remember we just said, hey, this is an administrative section and we want people to enter that, so to enter a password. So I've got to enter a password to enter here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I open the screen. Now you notice those two fields that were disabled on the personal settings, well, they're enabled here because I'm the administrator. I can change the planner name to Eddie, and I can take his full access level to limited. And the difference between limited access and full access is strictly with your contacts. It has nothing to do with the administrative level. Limited access means Ed can only look at his contacts in the list of contacts. If he had full access, if he wanted, he could look at other planners' contacts. All he has to do is select the other planners' contacts and they'll come into view, and he can edit the other planners' contacts, etc. So if he's a supervisor or something, he may want to have full access. If he's new to the company, he may just say no, he only has limited access. He can only look at his stuff. And All this is his personal information below. You can set it or whatever you want to do. You can even change the password as the administrator for that person. If he says he's lost his password, doesn't know what it is, you can reset that for him. Because it just basically new password, confirm new. We'll set his password at 1234. 1234. Password changed successfully. And we also changed his name to Eddie. This is what the computer uses for tracking the planner, is his planner name, not his first and last name. These are what's used for template fields. So when you get all done with that, let's save and close, and you'll get the same message, all users connected. Anytime you change anything with the administrative or planners, everyone has to restart the program if they're using that database. Let's go back to admin settings now and see. Now it's asking me for a password again, since this is lock screen 1234. And I open it, and this time let's say passwords are required to log in, and we'll say OK. And you'll notice we're logged in currently to this FPS6 sample database.copy MDB. So we're going to say OK, and this is basically, we're just going to restart that database, and you'll notice, okay, his new name is in there. Now we have a password box. It's saying, if see, I can't log in by double clicking. It says invalid password, please re-enter. So let's enter 1234. Now try to double click. Whoops, it cleared it when I 1234. Keep that in mind. If you switch rows or click, it clears the password box. So just say OK, and it logged in, successfully logged in as Eddie. And since Eddie is no longer full access, notice he can't look at other planners' contacts. It's disabled. That about wraps up the options and planner information. Thanks for watching.